everybody, Swandzz here. Welcome back to another episode of Tea and Craft Talk. Wonderful. So today I am drinking some tea, perfect as peach. Awesome. Let me take my first sip as it has been very hot. Delicious. So today I have something very specific I would like to talk about, and that is varnishing. Now, I've been painting for a really long time, like ever since I was probably, very young. I got serious about painting around like 13 years old, and ever since then I've been painting up a storm. However, it's not until this last year that I started to varnish my paintings, and boy, does it make a difference. There are a few different finishes of varnish that you can use. We got matte, we got gloss, we got satin, we got semi-gloss, high gloss, that's another one. You can do like super glossy. I typically choose to use like a semi-gloss varnish because it makes the colors really pop. It gives it a nice shine, but it's not an overwhelming amount of shine. As always, I will have some footage inserted in here someplace of me testing out some spray varnish. So this video is going to be namely talking about the differences between spray varnish and brush-on varnish, and then of course showing you the paintings that I recently varnished. So first things first, I got some brush-on varnish right here. It is Polycrylic by Minwax, and it is a clear gloss, and I will show you what paintings I have coated in that. And then I have a Krylon Kmar varnish, which this has kind of like a satin finish to it. It doesn't say on here what the finish is, I don't think. This doesn't say the exact finish, but it's kind of like a satin. They come out almost the same, honestly. This one's just a little bit like thicker of a finish, obviously because it's brush on and this is spray on. The great thing about varnishing your paintings is that it protects them, the colors pop, and it's gonna keep them from yellowing or, the greases from your skin damaging them over time if you were to touch it or something. And then also, of course, it makes them easy to kind of clean. You could dust the painting off or wipe it off if you had to without worrying about ruining it. So varnishing your paintings is great for a multitude of reasons, but the main thing I like about it is the fact that it really brings out the depth of a painting, really makes colors pop. These are the two different spray varnishes I have used as of recently. This is a gloss varnish from Rust-Oleum, and this is, like I said, kind of like a satin finish. That this is marketed more as being something you would spray paintings with, but this one also has instructions on the back for spraying paintings. Most varnishes can be used on most things. Most. One thing about spray varnish particularly that you need to keep in mind is that normally they need to be used in a certain humidity setting so that they cure properly, and that would be typically under 70% humidity is good. And then I forget what temperature off the top of my head, but every can tells you on the back what the optimal temperatures are and things like that. Also, with varnishes, a lot of times you want to get yourself some type of respirator because they can be, toxic. I think they're all, for the most part, most of them are toxic. I think the only one that I know off the top of my head that isn't is Liquitex. But I think most of them are pretty harmful to breathe in, so you want to get a respirator that protects against organic vapors. Now, the main difference between brush-on varnish and spray-on varnish is that the brush-on stuff can be a lot more expensive, especially if you get one of the real top brow brands. Gamblin is a good example. They make a really nice high gloss varnish, and it is very expensive. I think like 8 fluid ounces or 16 fluid ounces is like $40. Am I remembering that correctly? It's a lot. Go to Michael's and check it out, or go on the internet and check it out. It's really expensive. The Polycrylic by Minwax is one of the brush-on varnishes that's more affordable. You can get it from Walmart, a hardware store, something like that. I don't know that they have it at a craft store, but it does work very, very well. However, with this stuff, it is super smelly, like, oh my god. So even if you're wearing your respirator, you need to do it in an area that's well ventilated, because it will smell for the next however many hours that it takes for the smell to get out. So if you're gonna do it in your house, you should open lots of windows, put the can in a window that's open, but you know, I would recommend doing it outside, or doing it like in a garage that you can open the garage door type situation, because it is really smelly and you do not want to be breathing it in, especially not for an extended period of time. So the spray varnishes, typically the smell's not as bad, and I've noticed doesn't linger on the painting for as long, but I still typically leave my paintings outside to dry, which is why it's really important to make sure the humidity is the correct level, because you know, a lot of times the humidity inside your house is lower, but you don't want your house to smell like really bad for a long time, because this stuff can be intense. Now, out of the two, I prefer the Polycrylic Minwax varnish. It has a really nice finish. It has more of a substantial finish to it, like a nice thickness, and it just makes the painting, it just brings it to like another level. But I don't always have time to use this stuff, because like I said, you really need to like have time set out that you can go outside, get your area set up, use the stuff, and you know, have time to have your paintings dry. Like, you kind of have to have your day open, so I don't always have time to actually use the polycrylic. So when I don't have time to use polycrylic, I do use spray varnish. And out of these two, like I said, they have slightly different finishes, but I like this one a little better because the stream comes out more like a mist almost, and really coats the painting pretty evenly, whereas this one comes out more direct, and if you're not careful, you can end up with, you know, streaky lines through your canvas. And so I would say that this one sprays a lot easier, but they are different finishes that aren't necessarily comparable, because if you want a high gloss, this one's better, and if you want something more like a satin finish, this one's better. So this painting here was coated with the Rust-Oleum gloss varnish. So as you can see, it has quite a shine to it. And this painting was coated with the Krylon, oh, that's not the right one, with the Krylon varnish that doesn't advertise itself as being particularly glossy. And as you can see, the shine on this one is duller. More dull, not as sharp. It's got a less glossy shine to it, so you guys can see kind of the different finishes there. And now this next one was coated with the Polycrylic Minwax. And as you can see, it does have a glossy finish, but also a really smooth finish. Like, this stuff really fills in all the nooks and crannies and crevices in a way that the spray varnish just doesn't, because it's so much thinner. And that can be a good thing depending on, you know, what kind of painting you're coating. Like, if you're gonna be spraying a watercolor paper painting or something like that, then yeah, you probably don't want to use this really thick varnish, especially because that kind of paper is not going to be able to absorb all of that, whereas on a canvas, you know, that varnish can really soak into the canvas. I think on canvas, I do really prefer the Polycrylic Minwax, just because it has like just a really nice professional finish to it. I really like it, and I think from now on I'm going to be trying to coat my paintings with that more so than spray, but it's kind of like a time sensitive situation, you know? And then I did do this one with the Krylon spray varnish as well. And it just doesn't have as much of a heavy finish, you know, like it's a very light varnish, so I'm definitely probably gonna go over that with the polyacrylic when I have time. And it's important to note that with like brush on varnishes, a lot of times it's better to use one of those spongy brush things instead of like an actual brush. Because an actual brush can give you a lot of streak marks and brush stroke marks that you don't want to show up in the varnish. I hope that that was helpful for you guys. I've been having fun varnishing my paintings, and I definitely need to get around to doing the few stragglers that I have that just haven't been important enough for mommy to varnish. Sorry. Before we go, I do want to show you guys a few art print things that I have for sale. So the first thing would be this poster. This is a poster of the painting that I have over on the other wall that is 36 by 48, so it's a very, very large painting, and I got it made into a 16 by 20 photo print poster. So this is for sale. She is $40 plus shipping. So you can send me an email about that if you're interested. Of course, you can also email me. You can Jesus Christ. You can email me about that if you're interested. The email is always linked in the description of every video, but you can also send me a DM on Instagram if that's easier for you, and my Instagram is always right down here. And I also have a few photo prints ready for like an immediate delivery. Some foxy, we got an eyeball, jellyfish, and we got one of the one right here. So these are all ready for immediate delivery. I just wanted to order some of them after I made them into prints just to check out the quality and stuff. But also all of my paintings that are available as prints you can find on my Instagram using the hashtag SEWandzPrints, and it's linked in my bio on my Instagram, so you can just click it, and that'll show you all the paintings I have that can be ordered as prints. And if you're interested in ordering any of my paintings as prints, Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. If you're interested in ordering any of those prints, you can either DM me or email me about it and we can talk about it. But all of those posts on Instagram have the prices listed with them. So yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty fun. Thank you guys for joining me for another tea and craft talk video. I had a request to talk about varnish, and so I wanted to do that, but also I've been wanting to do that anyway because I've been varnishing a lot of paintings and using a lot of different types of varnishes. So I thought it would be good to just talk about that with you guys and maybe impart some knowledge. I don't know, make your life a little bit easier, hopefully, maybe. Please stay tuned for all of the fun videos I have in store for you guys. And as always, I love you, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye! Okay, you can click all of my little buttons. You can click my subscribe circle or the video or playlist that's listed below. You will also find a link to my Patreon where you can help support me for as little as $1 a month. Love ya. Bye!